Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy. Here we are looking at Bitcoin US dollar index on the weekly time frame, and on the screen we have the stochastic RSI, which you should very well know. Everybody's looking at this, waiting for it to cross upwards, waiting for the blue line here to cross up through the red line. And it's way down here right now. It's up to 333. It was 328 a second ago. So these are moving, and they will continue to move throughout the week depending on what the price is. And they could get closer together, they could get farther apart, they could crisscross. So we don't know when that'll be. This week, next week. Just because they're so far apart right now does not mean anything. All it takes is like a big move upwards and they will cross. Of course, I don't know how much of a move will need to be made. I suppose some people can reverse engineer that kind of stuff. I don't know. But there you have that. Aside from that, we can look at the Bitcoin chart here on the weekly time frame, and you'll notice that red X there. I don't know why it's red, but I made it red. And these dashed lines represent the daily Gaussian channel. We have the bottom and the mean band and the top part of the daily Gaussian channel. Now, we're down here right now at 64,250. And I do believe that by Thursday, well, sometime this week, according to this chart, but by Thursday we will be testing the mean band, but also this white parallel channel. And I should probably switch to a daily time frame. Now, stay tuned because we're going to get into what the hell is going to happen when the stock market opens tomorrow morning. So on the daily time frame, you'll see that this red X falls on Thursday, and it's also where I believe the daily the mean band of the daily Gaussian channel will cross this bottom of this white parallel channel here, and up here is the top of this white parallel channel. If you don't know what that is, you haven't been watching, but that's a historic channel that goes way back in time, and our interaction with it specifically around where we start our parabolic bull runs is significant. Every time when we break out of this channel is when we start our parabolic bull runs. You know what? Let's just go back and look in case this white channel is amongst our other pink parallel channels here. But if we go back in time, let's just go back in time here. We can see that in 2020, and we crashed down here, and you know why. And then we rode on top of that white parallel channel, and we did a final bounce, and then boom, off to the races. And let's go back to, well, even here, this little short bull rally in 2019 came up through the channel, retested it, and bouncing off to the moon. The moon or the races, don't know. And here we are again in 2017. Came through the channel. We had a nice little rally. Came back down to where? To the top of that white parallel channel. And then onwards and upwards to new all-time highs. Now, did we do it again back here? I don't remember. If we did, Well, kinda. You can see that we started a nice bull rally and got hung up in this channel here. And then once we broke free, we continued the rally onwards and upwards. So that is the history of this white parallel channel. It's very significant. Plays a very significant role, especially around these parabolic starts of our parabolic bull runs. And we are right here, right now. And we are about to break back into it, signifying that we are not about to start our parabolic bull run until we dance around in this white channel a little bit more. And I believe we'll start our parabolic bull run out here in June and possibly July. I've always said June. I'm still sticking by June. And yeah, I think that's when. But could be a few weeks later after the date that I have chosen, or a few weeks before. You never know. So we've fallen below the white channel in our most recent dumpage the past week or so, and are coming back into forming a very symmetrical move here. It's pretty funny how symmetrical it is, and it looks like a reproductive organ, I guess, or a bull. Looks like a baby bull, kind of. So here we are, and we are kind of heading right towards that X, which is where these lines cross. Whenever lines cross, it always is it's just like a magnet. It's a magnet. It draws the price action to there. So that's where I think we will be on Thursday. Now, do we break through before Thursday and come down, and the crossing of these lines makes a stronger support, or do we come up from below and the crossing of these lines makes stronger resistance? Because we do have the CPI data coming out not this week but the following Wednesday. So do we rally upwards, struggle to get through, come back down, in anticipation, or, with not anticipation, but with anxiety about what these numbers could reveal, and then bounce with good numbers? That could be the case. Or do we come up through here and people are counting on good numbers? They're like, they knew that the previous numbers were a fluke, and that economy's really, suddenly everybody thinks the economy's just super, and we rally up into this. There's been a lot of buying. So many other people have pointed out, other YouTubers have pointed out how much whale buying is going on. Everybody's buying up Bitcoin. So pretty soon there's not going to be any more Bitcoin around. Let's look at the hourly time frame, because we have something really neat to see here. Where are we now? Okay. So right now in the hourly time frame, well, you should know by now. I mean, any idiot has pointed out. Let me go to a 4-hour. It's clearer on a 4-hour that we have broken out of this downwards bull flag channel that we've been trading in right here. This white channel. We've been trading in it since late March, and did not note that we did not quite come down to the bottom of the channel here. It's because everybody was getting tired. The baby bears were getting tired. Need to go back into hibernation. They weren't able to drive us all the way back down to the bottom of the channel, nor the top of this pink channel here. Should have been able to do that, and they weren't able to. So we're coming back up, back into the Gaussian channel, which is a tip. This is a typical move once we dip our toe into the Gaussian channel, as the Gerber baby would say. Once we dip our toe in there, we get sucked down into it. Tried to break free here, and I thought maybe, yeah, that's it. That's our move right there. But no, we came down even more. Even more. We had to consolidate. There was too much too much pumpiness. We had to cool off a bit. Got a little bit too overheated, had to cool off a little bit, so we came down for another double dip. Came through the bottom of the channel, which happens sometimes. And you never know where you're going to end up when sometimes the mean band, you just come down to the mean band and bounce out, and consolidate along it for a while and then bounce out. Sometimes you come all the way to the bottom and then up here, retest the mean band and bounce, but we did not. We retested the mean band and fell through, fell to the bottom, broke out a little bit, and then back up. But once we do this, typically we're done, and we do a little V-shaped recovery and back out the top. So ordinarily I'd be saying, hey, here we go, we're going to go up here, we're going to shoot out the top. However, we got this one little thing here. We got this little gap. This little gap right here on CME futures, where that formed between the travels in our candle of Friday and the beginning of our candle here on Monday. There's this gap, and the market doesn't like gaps. I don't know why. It has something to do with I don't know, some sort of liquidity grab or something. I don't know. I forget. I read about it one time, a long time ago, and it makes sense, but I forgot why. So what's really, really interesting is that here on CME futures, we have this ascending triangle that I pointed out many, many times on the regular Bitcoin index market. And some people haven't been able to see it, but obviously, okay, I'm the triangle guy, so if I say there's an ascending triangle here, there's an ascending triangle here. So we have a touch point here and a touch point there, and touch points up here. It's not nice and flat, but you can't always have everything you want, okay? But these contact points are pretty precise there. Do we have a third one over here? Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. We got these guys too, right there. And that one. So we have these two candles. We have the one next to it. It's just a wick. That one almost. And this one here. And this one here. And look at this. Last Friday, what did we do? Last Friday. Well, we got some more interaction with it here. Though we did break through, but that's okay. We can do that sometimes. Got these other two wicks here. Broke through again. That's all right. And what did we do on Friday? We came right up to the bottom of the channel, got rejected from it. And then today, we opened above inside the triangle. Now, so we got this gap. Market doesn't like gaps. We got to fill this. Now, I've maintained that we do not have to fill the gaps. There's gaps in the past. If you want to learn more, you want to see a video where I point out all the gaps in Bitcoin's past that have not been filled. It is in the on my main page, and Crypto Essentials, and something about CME future gap myth debunked or something like that. And you can see I point out all the gaps that have not been filled. So, do we have to fill this? No. Do we want to fill it? Will we probably fill it? I think there's a pretty good chance we probably will fill it. And especially since we're so close to it right now, I'd like to see us fill it and get it over with so we can move on. And if we don't, we could possibly, like I pointed out here, we could possibly rally up to this X, get a rejection, come back down and fill the gap. We'd have to come back down to about here, about 63,300 to fill that gap. It's like a 63,600 something on CME futures, but assuming there's like a few $100 premium to spot, about 63,300-ish. Or 200-ish, even if there's a higher premium. Somewhere around there is where we'd have to come down to, which is realistic. I don't really have any lines that we would be bouncing off of that I can think of right now. Yeah, I don't know. But that could be, or we could, and I'll show you in a second here. All right, so I'm trying to keep as many lines as possible off of my chart, because you guys get confused, and I get confused with all these lines. So right now we have all these diagonal lines like this. These are our parallel channels that I mentioned previously, coming up into our white channel now, currently. We have the downward bull flag channel here, and some other green line over there. That's some sort of a trend line. We're going to leave it there. And then the dashed lines are the Gaussian channels. So those are the lines that are on the chart now. Now I'm going to, using my computer, I'm going to turn on some lines and see if they pop up. Yep, there they are. They popped up. So we're on the we're on the 4 hour. We want to be on it hourly, I think. Makes it a little bit clearer. So those lines I just drew, does that green one go back to anything? No, it doesn't. But you'll notice that this green line right here, this green line is perfectly parallel to our bull flag channel right here, this white line. And these other green lines are almost perfectly parallel to this orange line, which is perfectly parallel to this green line back here. This green line back here was a trend line that I drew through this price action here. Does it go back further? No, I don't think it touches anything prior to that. But I'm not going to zoom in and really, you can see how it's acted as support here and resistance here and resistance here, resistance there, and support here before we fell through it right there. So it's a pretty significant trend line, a local trend line here. And what's really, really interesting is that price action right now where we are is following it pretty accurately. You can see where we've touched these candle wicks here, these candle wicks here, and where this is wick down and this is wick down here. If those were connected, the line would be perfectly parallel. The slope of price action is traveling parallel to these various lines here. So currently, it's pretty obvious we're forming a symmetric triangle of consolidation on the hourly chart here. Since we've broken out of the parallel, our downward bull flag channel. Oh, that's what I was going to show you, and I don't think I did. We broke out of it, came back down, retested it on the hourly, came back up, broke through it a little bit here, but have held it on the hourly and have held it on the 4-hour right here with the candle bodies right here on the 4-hour, although we just had a wick here through it. And you can see our consolidation with many, many candles here on the hourly. Oh, look at that. We are coming out currently while we speak. Well, there goes the rest of my video. Because I drew a target from right here to right there, this part of the triangle, and a breakout in the early morning hours would take us back down to retest the top of our bull flag channel, or take us up to test the mean band of the daily Gaussian channel. And these are all exactly the same length. This arrow here, this arrow here, this arrow here, and they are drawn assuming a breakout at 1300 UTC, which is the start of the US market. So we're breaking out a little bit there, but that could just be a fake out. A lot of times we'll wick through a little bit of these consolidation areas. So we'll just see. What we may be doing is having a breakout here, coming up a little bit, coming back down and retest. Look for how much, we got 15 minutes in this hour left. If we do break out here, look for a retest holding here. Now, of course, this is on such a small time frame. We could see, we might be seeing a fake out to the upside, and then we might be seeing a fake out here, coming back down to retest, not being able to hold it, and falling in and falling through and closing the gap. Remember, I said we got to get to 63, about 63,300 to close that gap. And well, that would be right about there where my cursor is. Maybe a little bit lower, somewhere around here. So this other line here I had as a, see where it acts as resistance to these candles here. It was a possible, back here, it was a possible move downwards, 63.3. But we've come past that opportunity to break down here and come down and close the gap right there. So we missed that opportunity. I'm just leaving that line there for now because it is significant, since it did act as resistance here. Up, look at that. So we're coming back down into the channel. That was just a little fake out here. So there you have it. Are we a little bull here? Are we a little bear? Or are we a little bit of each? Do we do both? We could very well do both. But ultimately, like I said in the beginning, this is a reversal here from out of our bull flag channel, and we are moving upwards and onwards. But the overall scheme of things, let me go to a 4 hour, I think would be. The overall scheme of things, as I've maintained since way back here, where I made this little arrow, at that moment I knew we were forming this ascending triangle. When we were forming this ascending triangle, we did fall out of it here. So in reality, it could be, it's a consolidation pattern. The top is here at 73,000. And the base of the triangle there's various bases. Clearly here's one, clearly here's one, and clearly here's one. This one has support, significant, a lot of support right here, but there's also support here and these two touches here, and not really a lot of support on the center one. We do have some candle action here, right along here, but so it could be this really big triangle with the pink bottom here, or, well, I think this is played out already, and I think from here on out that we are interacting with the up with in this white parallel channel right here and stopping at the top. I think we'll have another stop here at 73. Probably come back down, and somewhere, I don't know where the Gaussian channel is, probably come back down and test the top of the daily Gaussian channel as support, and then bounce out here in June. Maybe come out a little bit, come back down, retest, and then blast off once we get good CPI numbers and FOMC, which both come out June 12th. Now, what was the other thing I wanted to say? I'm going to pause and think about it for a second. I think it had something to do with the Gaussian channel. No, it was the 21-week moving average. 21-week moving average is here in light blue. So it's at 55,000. So it is not out of the question. See, the charts don't tell you what is going to happen. So often, like I just pointed out with this consolidation back here, so often price action leaves you undecided. I mean, this is a symmetric triangle, and quite literally the targets are either at the mean band or at the bottom of the channel. Perfectly set up for market open tomorrow morning. So I can't tell you which one we're going to do, but I can tell you we're probably going to do one or both. And in the same vein here, I believe that we are going to continue to consolidate in the smaller of our ascending triangles and come, see a little bit of action with it between the mean band and the top of the daily Gaussian channel. Maybe a little action here between the 73,000 and the top of the Gaussian channel. But there's also the possibility with bad numbers here that we do come back down, and then this pink line here becomes the base, and we come back down to retest the 21-week moving average, which looks like it's going to come right up into the bottom of this triangle here.